folks, it's your astonishing friend Christina, and yeah, I'm wearing a bikini. After all, this is Florida. Don't move here. We get hurricanes and flying cockroaches, and in the summertime it gets to be 1,000 degrees. Have you ever wondered why there are so many different opinions on what is the optimal diet for humans? Well, if humans are so dang smart, how come people have to go through years of school to get a degree in nutrition just to figure out what we're supposed to eat? I mean, a chimpanzee doesn't need a dang degree to figure out what it's supposed to eat. The cool thing is that nature provides the food that is perfectly suited for each and every species on the planet. Cows eat grass if they're not in prison. Fish eat other fish. Does that make them cannibals? And birds eat all kinds of things depending on what kind of bird they are. But the point is, all these animals eat specifically what their bodies are designed to eat. And I don't mean to offend any sciencey types by saying the word design. That's an argument for another day. So what do humans eat? Well, humans eat pizza and donuts and French fries and ice cream and fried chicken and McDonald's and Doritos. These Doritos are just like virtually every other processed food on the market. I think they're trying to kill us or something. Okay. I know you all know that God did not intend for us to eat donuts. Oh crap. There I go offending the sciencey types again. Don't y'all worry now, I'm gonna get to the sciencey stuff. Just hang tight. Where was I? Oh, donuts. We all know that donuts are not a naturally occurring phenomenon that is suitable for any living being to consume. I mean, after all, donuts don't grow on trees, but donut peaches do. Now we're getting somewhere. Every species on the planet is endowed with very specific anatomical attributes or lack thereof that determine which dietary class they belong to. We're all familiar with the terms carnivores, omnivores, and herbivores, but less commonly spoken of are granivores that eat grains, nectivores that eat nectar, detritivores that eat decomposing plant and animal matter, as well as feces. And then there are frugivores, or fruit eaters. The most widely accepted notion is that humans are omnivores. The word omnivore is a Latin term that translates to eater of everything, which seems pretty accurate when it comes to humans. Someone even wrote a book called The Omnivore's Dilemma. You know what the dilemma is? You're not a freaking omnivore.
That's not what the other lawyer said.
You're free to disagree. You can even get angry if that makes you happy. But just because humans are capable of eating literally just about anything, it doesn't mean that that's what nature intended for us to eat. It's actually pretty easy to figure out what is our natural and optimal diet according to our anatomical and physiological makeup. Not that kind of makeup. They did not even cover this in basic anatomy and physiology, which I aced in college, by the way. I'm brilliant. Shh. Now, I'm not going to debate about history or traditions or geographical locations or blood types or evolution or Bible verses. I'm simply going to point out easily observable physical characteristics that are as plain as the nose on your face. And to make this a little bit simpler, I'm just going to narrow this down to mammals. Okay, I'm not going to waste anybody's time comparing humans to octopuses. Octopi? Although from what I understand, octopuses are really, really smart, which is more than I can say for a lot of humans. Okay, so of all the species on the planet, our human anatomy most closely resembles that of frugivorous apes. Whoa. Are you saying that we evolved from apes? How dare you? I'm not saying we evolved from apes. I'm not saying that. Heck, for all I know, we could be aliens. But one thing's for sure, our physiological structure matches that of frugivores. Because we're frugivores. Don't believe me? Well, I'm about to prove it to you with cold, hard facts.
This box contains over 217 bits and pieces of information. Evidence.
Exhibit A, a photograph of me at the age of 14 in a leopard costume with a long freaking tail. Exhibit B, another photograph.
What's missing from this picture?
It's just me, without a tail. Why? What's the significance? I'm not a carnivore. All carnivorous animals have tails. In fact, the only mammals that don't have tails are frugivores. But Christina, humans used to have tails. Why do you think we have a tailbone? Humans evolved to not have tails. Some people are even born with tails. So, some people are born with 2 heads. Does that mean we used to have 2 heads? Besides, if we evolved to be like frugivores, there's probably a darn good reason for it. Listen, I'm not here to argue about evolution, although coincidentally, even Charles Darwin confessed that his theory of evolution was grievously hypothetical. Exhibit C. Carnivores, omnivores, and herbivores all have multiple rows of teats for nursing litters of offspring. Humans, like other frugivores, only have 2 for nursing 1 or 2 offspring. Exhibit D. Carnivores and omnivores have long, sharp, curved fangs for ripping and tearing flesh and swallowing without even chewing. Carnivores don't even have the jaw mobility for chewing. Oh, they'll crush bones and eat bones. Do you? Some people think that these dinky little canines mean that we're meant to eat meat. But our tooth structure is almost identical to that of chimpanzees. Only their canines are bigger than ours, and their diet is 95% plant-based. And what's not is mostly termites. Herbivores have tons of jaw mobility for chewing and grinding. So do humans. But check out these herbivore teeth. Dude, I've got goats and they will literally eat Christmas tree branches. So if you think you're an omnivore, I'd like to see you eat a Christmas tree. Exhibit E. Carnivores have long, sharp claws, paws, and walk on all 4 legs. Omnivores have claws and paws, or hooves, and walk on all 4 legs. Herbivores have hooves, or whatever you would call this kind of foot, and walk on all 4 legs. But frugivores have flat fingernails, grippy thumbs, and the ability to walk upright. Look, he's evolving. Now some of y'all might think that these flat tips at the end of our fingernails qualify as claws. Whatever. And maybe you think that these are paws or hooves, but just because you identify as a unicorn, it doesn't mean you're a unicorn. Exhibit F. Now this is not an anatomical feature that we can see, but it has to do with how we see. Carnivores and omnivores do not see in full color. Herbivores do, but primates are the only mammals that have true trichromatic color vision. Perfect for spotting out that luscious ripe fruit. Exhibit G. Carnivores and omnivores have very short intestines in relation to the length of their body to allow for decomposing flesh to pass quickly through their digestive tract. Humans, on the other hand, have intestines 9 times the length of our body, so anything we consume has a long way to travel. Animal flesh ain't gonna get through fast enough, and it's gonna start to putrefy inside of you. Oh, and herbivores? Their intestines are 20 times the length of their body. Good thing they're smart enough not to eat anything that's gonna rot before they have a chance to poop it out. Exhibit H. Digesting flesh and bones is a crap ton of work. So carnivores and omnivores sleep for 18 to 20 hours a day, whereas herbivores and frugivores only need 8 hours or less. But when people eat corpses and coagulated body fluids, they become lethargic and want to sleep all the dang time. Back when I was a corporate slave, all my co-slaves used to complain about being tired all the dang time, especially after lunch. Well, no wonder their poor bodies are trying to squeeze dense lumps of chewed up cadaver through a 20-foot tube that's all twisted and scrunched up inside them. Well, obviously some of that crap's gonna get stuck. Next stop, colonoscopy town. Rather than going through life like a flesh-eating zombie, you could be feasting on grapes and bananas and avocados and watermelon. And you'll be like, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? Nature provides the perfect food for every species without the need to alter it in any way by cooking, combining, baking, blending, fermenting, flavoring, or mixing it up into all sorts of crazy, elaborate concoctions. If humans were truly omnivores, we wouldn't have to cook meat in order to safely consume it. Even when it is cooked, it's not fit for human consumption, unless you're suicidal. If humans were herbivores, we wouldn't need lawnmowers. Actually, we don't need lawnmowers. If humans were carnivores, we'd be picking up all the roadkill to eat. I mean, there are people who do eat roadkill. And in my opinion, that is the only ethical way to eat meat. No, I changed my mind, because that would take food away from the vultures. But cars aren't natural. But urban sprawl is taking over vulture habitats. Even eating roadkill is unethical. Whether you look to nature, science, intelligent design, evolution, or whatever, it's actually pretty dang easy to figure out what the correct diet for humans is. Even a toddler can tell you which of these things is food. So remember, just because you're capable of putting anything of a particular size in your mouth, swallowing it, and having it come out the other end, doesn't mean that you should be classified as an eater of everything. Thanks for watching. But wait, before you smash that subscribe button, I have to warn you that at some point in the future, I will probably do or say something that will offend you. So if you're just gonna turn around and unsubscribe, then don't even bother. I'm sorry if I offended anybody that was born with a tail, or multiple nipples, or 2 heads. And I'm sorry if I offended anybody who identifies as a unicorn. It's stressful living in this day and age. I'm gonna go have some goat therapy. Have a nice life. I didn't think so. Ugh. Okay,